Welcome back to another Forex cast, man. This past trading week was crazy. I'm talking about some of these setups were amazing, really. Like setup after setup. If you did watch the last Forex cast or forecast, excuse me, that I did last week, you will see that everything basically played out as anticipated, you know. So congrats to those that caught some of these moves. Looking here at the dollar index, I was telling you that I was anticipating a continued drop on the dollar. All right. Now, I wasn't expecting it to drop as much as it did, but we dropped even more than what I could have asked for, what I was expecting. But we can see we broke all these levels. Looking to the left, we broke this major level of demand. All right. So we had a nice pump or dump down into this level. Now, if we look at this, zoom this out on the weekly, all right? I told you if we broke this level, all right, and chances are we will come now into this structural level down here. All right, so this is pushing into a level that, it could potentially bounce from. All right, so we pushed into this next level of supply structure that could turn into some type of support. So I'm interested to see how things are going to be. And when you look into fundamentals, once they decided to put a pause on rate hikes and CPI being negative, these things affected the dollar. And we see that, and due to that, the dollar dumped. Now, FOMC is not this coming week, but the next, not this coming week, but the following Wednesday, which is, if you see here, July 26th. So the last week of the month, I believe this is. Pretty much the last full trading week of the month of July, we got FOMC, we got rates. All right, so I am interested to see if they're gonna raise the rates because they are saying that they could raise the rates a couple more times this year. So we'll see if this will be that time. Because we can see the last decision they kept rates the same and the one before that. All right, so doing that tends to bring bearish pressure into the dollar. So if they decide to raise rates again, then it's likely you're going to see dollar pump again. All right. So it is interesting that we're coming into a major level here. We can see here on a monthly. All right. This is also a level of supply. So we pushing down into this level. So I wouldn't be surprised to probably get one more deeper drop. And if they do raise rates, have a move like that. But early on going into the week, I am looking for some type of corrective move on the dollar, like seeing some type of pull up. Like ideally, if this wanted to continue, it could still come up and retest structure before continuing down. That's a possibility. But I am looking for a price to correct up, especially with seeing how some of these dollar pairs just closed the week. And you will be able to go over that and see why I'm looking for a correction as well. All right. But I believe possibly, going into before FOMC, possibly maybe see a pull up, maybe one more drop before the continued pump. That's a possibility. Or they might just not raise rates again at that time, and we may see the dollar drop even more. All right, so we'll just have to play it based off of structure and allow things to come to us. All right, and the yen. So really this week I was heavily focused on yen pairs, and it paid out. We could see if you look at GJ, EJ, all yen pairs just gave beautiful setups, man. Like some of the most. It's one thing about yen, when they're ready to go, they're ready to go. And if you see, I covered the Japanese yen index that we're looking right here, and I covered that. Yes, we're in a downtrend, but last Sunday we saw this bullish engulfing close on the monthly, engulfing the last 2 weeks. So that was a good sign that they were going to likely continue to pump, and that's exactly what we got. So this pump on the yen is why we was able to catch some nice shorts on like EJ, GJ, and those different pairs. That's why those gave great setups, UJ, all across the board. All right, so moving forward, this is still in the downtrend. All right. So to end the week, found a double top and we did get a breakdown. Now we at this level of structure. So price can either pull up from here, or if it breaks down, the chances are you're going to see the yen continue to the downside. And that could help some of these yen pairs continuing that move to the upside. And that's how this week ended as well, with this sell-off on the yen. But if it does pull up a little higher, this level of structure you see here, right here, this was a level of demand right here. So it was a level of support here as well until it broke through. So around there, if it does pump up again, it possibly can retest here. If it forms some type of bearish price action, then that could be the move to continue down if it doesn't want to just continue down from here. All right. So now looking at gold. So gold as well. If you look at, I sent this out. You see, we still got this. I said this was an inverted head and shoulders on the last weekly forecast. And I said on this pullback, this was the opportunity. Price pulled back for the retest. Boom. Right. So you could have entered down here like on this pullback, 1913, 1914. All right. If you wanted a structure-based stop loss, you could have your stop loss below this right shoulder. All right, because this was ideally I would have been looking up here in this range. I didn't catch this one because, like I said, I was focused on yen this week, but that would have been a beautiful setup right there. But it even rose further than that. From that retest, price rose 500 pips. Nice 500 pip move. So now coming into this week, gold is at an interesting level. It's sitting at the top of this level of structure. All right, so one or two things is going to happen. It's either going to hold and pump and continue up, and maybe up here at this level of structure, maybe possibly set up for that sell-off. Because again, we could be setting up for the dollar to set up for a big pump or FOMC. I do see that as being a good possibility, but we'll have to wait and see how things develop. So I would look for either something like this. If it holds here, look for it to come to this level. And if it finds some type of bearish price action, then you probably can catch a sell there. But coming into this week, we still could possibly see gold sell. So if I was to look for a sell on this, I would need to see a break below structure. So if gold comes out here and breaks below structure, then you can maybe catch a retest and look to catch a wave down. All right. So that's what I would look for on gold. Just basically wait, allow it to show its hand, and then trade in line with structure. GU. So GU actually just ended this week with a nice rejection. Some of these dollar pairs ended with nice rejection going in line with a potential pullback, bullish pullback on the dollar. So if I zoom this out, but GU was also a setup that I sent out though as well. GU was down here because this was another one where I said, hey, this was an inverted head and shoulders right here, left shoulder, right shoulder. All right. So I was looking for price to come back and retest basically the neckline structure of that. Right. This was the beautiful retest right here. Right. Nice retest. You see there forming a bullish engulfing, and price just continued to the upside. Even if you entered there, that still was an opportunity. All right, but you see price just rose over 300 pips. All right. Now from this retest, you could have entered right at the retest because I was looking for price to stay above this daily candle, right? So let's say if you allowed it to come back and retest that structure, you enter around here, in this scenario, your stop loss, right, on that retest, boom, below structure and that daily candle, risking like 50 pips, boom, price from there, price rose over 360 pips. So that was a beautiful move right there. We broke all the way to the highs. Now, if we look at this on the weekly, now price is at an interesting level. Looking to the left, right, we're at this level right here. This level of structure where price had a big fall. All right. And this is exactly where price is rejecting from now. Okay. So if we look at what just happened, go down to the smaller time frame, we can even look at this on the 1 hour so we can see price just formed some interesting price action right here. All right. So price came up, rejected initially, formed like a slight double top, broke down, right? Gave you a pullback retest opportunity. Really with this type of candlestick rejection, that's like a shooting star, pin bar type rejection. So those type of candlesticks I like, like stop loss above there. This could potentially happen. But coming into the week, I would like to see a break of the structure. If we break here, right, nice close, maybe catch the pullback or retest and look to continue to take this down. I would look to take this down towards anywhere from 1.302 to 1.3 even, right? If you look into the left, because even on the 4 hour, price had a nice rejection on the 4 hour. Now, if we look to the left, basically coming back down to this structure, right? That's lining up with, you see over here, right? It's support right here, but lining up with that structure around basically 1.30 area psychological level. All right. So that's what I'm looking for in GU. A nice potential move to the downside. All right, to go in line with a pullback on the dollar. EU pumped as well. So basically this week, it was like, just take your pick for real, because it was clear that the dollar was bearish, and it was clear that, it was a bullish week for the yen. So that's what I like to do. I like to play a week by week. Okay, what does it look like this week? Okay, dollar is looking, and it helps when you understand the higher time frame premise. So now you can be like, okay, this week, it's looking like we're shaping up for a bullish week or a bearish week. And you just trade in line with structure based off of that. So now where EU is at, we broke above these highs. We broke above these levels of structure. All right, so that is a significant break right there. Weekly looking strong, monthly still looking pretty strong. But we could have some type of pullback possibly. Right now it's still very bullish. So I'm not really, I don't know if I would look to trade EU, but if you were looking for if I was looking for like a corrective move, I would like to see this structure broken. Price comes down, breaks structure, something like that. Look for a pullback, maybe a retest, and catching a wave down. All right. Because based off of this on a daily, all right, or even on a weekly, we could possibly see the dollar come down here, right? Before any more. This would be a nice retest area if it wanted to continue to the upside. All right. Now, of course, all of this has to do with based around what the dollar is going to do. So definitely keep that dollar, on point. Keep it on your radar to give you an edge. All right. But this is based off technicals. This is something possible. Price come down for the retest, continue up maybe into this level of supply, and at that level possibly set up for a fall. That's a possibility. So we'll have to see. Coming up this week, if the dollar does open up correcting, then you probably will get CEU starts to correct to the downside after that big pump. Looking at NZDUSD, so we can see if we look at this on a daily, where price is rejecting from now. If we look to the left, this was a level of support structure here. When price broke through that, it retested it as resistance. Boom. So at this level here, in this range, there's been nice areas of supply when price has failed multiple times. All right, so this is a significant level of structure, which is roughly around, 0.64, right, which is like a psychological level. So if we look at this is like an institutional level. All right, how it's shaped up on a 4-hour. This is the type of price action I like to see on the 4-hour. So we had a level of supply. So here on the 4-hour, we got a bearish engulfing. Nice bearish engulfing close. All right. So I like potential sales on this. This is the type of price action I'll actually look for, to actually start looking for sales. Right. But it's Friday, actually the market just closed, but I would like to see something like that. Maybe push down towards 0.63. Even on a 2-hour here, you see right here, this is a nice evening star rejection on a 2-hour. So we got an evening star rejection on a 2-hour, bearish engulfing on a 4-hour, and this is all from a level of a strong level of structure. All right. So if you're looking to enter this, right, because I do like this for a sell, maybe a possible pullback, and on a pullback, maybe look to catch that. All right. Or, if price breaks down here first, maybe catch a pullback or a retest. All right. But I am leaning towards bears on this, a bearish setup on this, really based off of the price action I see on the 4-hour, the 2-hour, the nice price action candle and price action rejection I see. So I will lean for this to give us a move down. All right. Down towards structure. All right. Down towards these structure areas within here, which is also around 0.63. Okay. It's NZDUSD. AU, I actually caught a sell on this, took profit before the market closed. So that was a nice sell setup. All right. But this also is, like I said, I'm leaning towards the market to start off bullish for the dollar. You know what I mean? So this coming week. So if we look at this, AU also went in line with the dollar weakness this week, but we pulled up to this psychological level of structure, strong level of structure. Looking to the left, it was supply there before in the past. All right, also over here, it was a level of supply here. Price broke down. Some will call that an order block, right? It was support structure here. right? We also see that it was a nice level of resistance or supply there. So this is the same level that price is rejecting from now, all right? So what price did was to end the week, right? Initially, we got like a bearish engulfing, price slightly pull back, and then boom. Seeing this breakdown of structure is ideal. So you see right here that this is opportunity you could have caught. When you see price break below structure like this, and then you see new, it gave you a nice little retest. That's an entry there. It's an entry here, right? Stop loss above. And just from there, if you enter that retest, that's about a 1 or 2 risk to reward. Risking like 23 pips right there. Price dropped about 45, 46 pips. All right. So I am still leaning towards bears this week now, going into the week on AU. So in this scenario, I would like to see a pullback. Also here on the 4-hour, we see we got a bearish engulfing. So I would like to see some type of pullback, right? Some type of corrective move, and then look to take it. Ideally, you would like to see that pullback, and then look to take that move down towards 0.688-ish. All right, looking to the left around this structure play, this structure level. That would be my next target. All right, looking at some of the yen pairs. EJ, again, this was a beautiful move last week. This is where we was at. I went over this, right? This was the pullback. This signal was given out at VIP. Our TP target, last TP target hit for like 190 pips or something like that, and we had this big fall right here. So that was beautiful. Right, so we had that beautiful fall. Y'all forgive me if y'all hear my daughter in the background. This is when you're a father trader. But we had this breakdown, and then boom, nice pullback here, and price moves to the downside. All right, so now I knew when we came around this level is either price was going to break and then continue, or break or hold, find support around here and then pump. So we did initially break below here, that level. All right. But I was like, if I'm going to look to continue to sell this, I would need to see a retest and a nice hold on the retest, but that didn't happen. You see it started forming these wicks, and then boom, we pumped right back above structure. So ideally, I knew if we had a pump back above structure, chances are price is now setting up to give a nice move to the upside. After that, price did get opportunity on this retest, and then boom, right? So this is actually what I like to call a 3-wave. 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna show you how I would look for it moving forward. But first, this is a key right here. This is a key indication. I'm gonna give y'all, this is a gem right here. You can see price at this level of demand, right? Just like here in the past, initially price formed a bullish engulfing, right? But look what price did. It pumped, but then look what it did again. It came down, basically retested around there. Some will call that, like, people say smart money concepts and bearish order blocks. That's basically what it is. It comes back and retests that order structure. A lot of times it's lining up with the base candle, with being like a bullish engulfing, and you see that bearish order before the pump. Price came down, retested that, and then pumped again, right? Now you can see that's exactly what just happened here, right? Price printed a bullish engulfing, and I'm gonna show you on UJ. This is what I'm looking for on UJ to see how seeing how UJ closed. But you can see price formed this bullish engulfing. So I would have expected some pullback or retest, and then on that, look for the entry, right? And that's what it did. So you could have been entering here on this retest of that, right? Stop loss could have been below the bullish engulfing candle to be safe. And then you can see from there, price moved 160 pips. Beautiful setup, right? So now moving forward, now you can see that daily candle, that's a strong daily close, right? And we broke back above a structure level. So now, like I said, that was like a 3-wave here. Now we broke back above this level of structure. So I will be still expecting another wave to the upside on EJ. So something like this, you see we got this 3-wave, 1, 2 on the retest, and then 3. So normally I like to see a pullback or a retest of previous structure, right? So that would be ideal. Maybe get a retest of that, and then look to continue that to the upside for the 4th wave up, or the 5th wave. This will be a complete like 5-wave if price does that. 1, 2, 3. Corrective move on a 4th wave, extension 5th wave up for your targets. All right. So if you study Elliott waves, or you study just the waves of market in general, understanding that the market moves in waves, but also understanding price action structure, line it up with price action candles, understanding how to read what's going on. All right. So overall, a retest of this structure. All right. And that would be ideal. And I will expect for price to stay above this daily candle. All right. Ideally, that's what you'll like to see, similar to what you saw here. All right. And you can see EJ potentially pump. At least my next target would be around 156.7-ish area, around here, around this lower area. All right. That's EJ. GJ also pumped. All right. One thing about yen, just like the dollar, they hold a lot of weight. So you're going to normally see the yen pair is moving the same direction. The dollar pair is moving the same direction. All right. So you see here on the weekly, it's starting to give some, some rejection. That way that candle closed, I would lean towards a bigger move to the upside on GJ. All right. So now it pumped up. All right. So this gave a similar type scenario. Came around this level of demand. All right. I knew it was going to either break and continue or break or find support around here. So we broke initially slightly, but then formed these wicks. And then boom, you see a close back up, a pump back above this level of structure. Came down on a retest right here. This was your entry on that retest. Right. Entry on the retest. Right. And then price continued to the upside. All right. So now where price is at, it is at a level of structure on GJ. So one or two things I would either say you could wait for a break back above this level of structure and then look for a pullback or retest opportunity. All right. Or allow price to correct a little more. All right. Maybe more of a pullback before price continue. But overall, we'll expect price to stay above that higher low right there within this move. So you can even take maybe a trend line. All right. And look for price. Hold on. Didn't mean to put that there. So maybe price could pull back possibly and set up for that next wave. That's a potential. Because the way this is looking here, it forms some bearish price action. So you may see that correction come first before that move. And we can actually measure this from this low with the fib to that high. All right. So maybe pull back about 50% to 61.8 of that move. All right. And then look for price to hold. And we could see price continue back towards the highs, up here towards supply. And lastly, UJ. So UJ was also one of the ones, man. This setup, I covered this. You can go look at the last session. If y'all was following, y'all remember. Price was here. When this week started, when I did this past weekly forecast, price was here. Price was here. And I was like, look for a pullback or a retest within here. And then that would be an area to look for the sell. And price dumped. So like, this is also that 4-hour break and retest strategy I covered. Price had a nice impulsive engulfing close, breaking below structure to the left, higher low structure. After that, it retested it and just fell off a cliff. You know what I mean? Like, this is where you enter. Stop loss above here, right? From there, I mean, of course, I wouldn't have anticipated to dump like this. Like, I didn't see this big of a move coming. Like, I haven't seen UJ move like this in a while. But from there, though, just hypothetically speaking, like, you see price dropped over 500 pips if you entered right there, risking like 50 pips. All right. From there, price dropped, man, almost 600 pips, like 570 pips. That's a 1 for 11 risk to reward. You know what I mean? At that point, if you wanted to swing it, you could have been just moving your trail. Like, okay, you see it's still going. All right, boom, it's still going. So start moving your stop down. Once you see price broke below here, you're like, oh, it's still going. And you could have had your stop and profit here, and then boom, it just kept falling, But now moving forward for this week, we are finding support at a significant level of structure. If we look to the left, and I covered this, I said we could possibly, see it come down here. Now, if we see to the left, this was a level of resistance or supply in the past. There, also here, right? So this is a significant level. It was support here, right? So this is exactly where we're finding support at. Seeing this type of price action on a daily, I'm almost 100%. I'm 99.9% sure this is going to go up next week. 99.9. They say you never be 100%, but I'm right there. We got a nice bullish engulfing here on the daily. All right. And this is similar to what we saw on EJ, how I said you could see it come back and retest somewhere around here. Right. Maybe even a little lower. But I would like to see overall, you know. Let me see. Right. Overall, I would like to see some type of pullback, retest for the continue. This could possibly pull down a form and invert it, right? If it pulls back, like especially like around here, I would look at as an inverted head and shoulders. I would definitely expect this to hold, especially with that bullish candle on the daily, right? And possibly form and a right shoulder right here for the wave up. All right. That's a possibility. Let me see. 138.3. Like I would like for it to stay above that daily candle for sure. All right. So pull back somewhere around there. You know. Hypothetically speaking. You know. And this is going to set up, right, for a nice move up. All right. So that's UJ. So I would look for price to come back up basically towards this level of structure, at least around 140.5, you know, around 140.5. So that's what's on my watch list for the week. I hope you all got value out of that. Be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate that. You know, help me with the algorithm and everything. And, you know, similar to last week, let's allow things to come to us. Everything is mapped out. I got my week mapped up already. I know what I'm looking for. Now just let it come to me, execute, and then we tap in from there. All right. So be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to tap in with the signals, the education, the course, and everything like that, the videos, the live sessions, you can tap in at the fxwave.com. Be sure to also tap in. Shout out to Sway Market, swaymarkets.com, broker, regulated broker with 1 for 500. You know, go on to tap in and let's catch these pips. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.